This is Bloomberg Business of Sports.
The cold, hard truth about the Olympic journey is not really been financially incentivized in the same way that many other professional sports are.
The business of basketball involves CBA, Global, our licensing arm, Think 450. All of those things will make up what that looks like.
Money in sports. It's one of the reasons why I enjoy being on Monday Night Countdown and talk about some of the more interesting aspects of business of sports.
When you're talking sports, discipline is the bridge from being good to ultimately being great at whatever it is that you're trying to be or accomplish at your profession.
Bloomberg Business of Sports from Bloomberg Radio.
This is the Bloomberg Business of Sports show where we explore the big old money issues in the world of sports. I'm Michael Barr.
I'm Scarlet Fu.
And I'm Mike Lynch.
Coming up today, Larry Tanenbaum is joining forces with Boston Celtics owner Stephen Pagliuca and former Chelsea captain John Terry to bid for the Premier League club, and San Francisco Giants' Alyssa Nakken becoming the first woman to coach on the field in a regular season game. That is coming up on the Bloomberg Business of Sports. But let's begin with Olympic gold medalist Suni Lee, bringing in increased viewership and interest to women's college gymnastics. Well, I like this, Scar, because, this is something that I always like to push. Come on, women. It's time to take your place up there along with the men and just go and kick butt.
And it is also helped by NIL, right? Because someone like Suni Lee, who won the gold medal at the Olympics, is able to monetize her victory, and she has a much higher profile now as a result, and she spends a lot of her time marketing her sport, marketing herself, and she is a star. And when she's competing, the fans come out, and everyone kind of basks in the glory as well.
Yeah, gymnastics has always been the darling sport of the Olympics, and it's a great sport in college. But when most of these Olympic champions, in order to monetize and capitalize on their fame and their gold medal, have to go on tour. And it's kind of a lonely existence. You give up college, all your friends are in college, you're 19, you're 20 years old, and that's the only way you make money. If you went to college before name, image, and likeness, you forfeit all that money and all that business opportunities. So this is great. It's the best of both worlds. She gets to go to college, and she's filling up gymnasiums wherever she goes. People are watching on television. People are craning their necks trying to get a peek of her. It is awesome. I think it's one of the best stories I've heard and most encouraging stories I've heard in a long time.
And everyone's looking for live sports, right? Live sports, they're looking for content, all these different platforms. This is another form of content for them, premium content at that.
Wheelhouse alert for Lynchy, wheelhouse alert. Boston Celtics owner, and he is now have forces for Chelsea's bid with the NBA chairman and John Terry. Lynchy, this is looking more and more like I'm seeing the new owners of Chelsea.
Steve Pagliuca, one of the owners of the Boston Celtics, who played freshman basketball at Duke, by the way, is now teamed up, as you said, with Larry Tanenbaum, owns the Maple Leafs Sports Entertainment. They own the Leafs, the Raptors, the Toronto Football Club, and also they have a couple other partners in there. Edward Severin, a co-founder of Facebook. Bob Iger, the former CEO of Walt Disney, is part of the package, which will be presented on Thursday this week, and then the winning bid will be taken to the British government for approval on Monday. So this is happening very, very swiftly. The price tag could be anywhere from $2 to $5 billion. And if Steve Pagliuca is able to lead this group and acquire Chelsea, that would be two Boston groups now that have teams in the English Premier League. The Fenway Sports Group, of course, has the Liverpool team.
Yeah, I was just going to say, another American owner of a UK football club. Pagliuca actually said that he vows to make the club habitual winners. Is Chelsea, what is Chelsea's track record relative to the other Premier League teams?
Well, they lost in the semi to Real Madrid. But when he came in with the Celtics group, the name of their group is called Banner 17, because when they bought the Celtics, they had 16 championship banners. And they immediately, it wasn't immediate, but there was a distinct turnaround, and they competed and won a championship 6 years later and went to Game 7 8 years later after they acquired the team.
Get ready for this trivia question when you're playing Trivial Pursuit. Who was the first woman ever in Major League history to coach on the field in a regular season game? The answer, Alyssa Nakken. And it happened right around the third inning, I guess. The San Francisco Giants, they're playing the Padres. And all of a sudden, first base coach Antoine Richardson, something made him mad, and he got tossed out. And then they said, hey, you're up, Alyssa. And then Scar, the rest is history.
She stepped in, and when she was announced as the replacement for Richardson, she got a warm ovation from the home crowd at Oracle Park. So, yay, I'm excited about this. And by the way, the Baseball Hall of Fame is excited about this too, because the helmet that she picked up along the way to trot over to the base is now on its way to Cooperstown.
She's an assistant coach with the Giants. This wasn't some just token accident that happened. She is an assistant coach in charge of base runners and outfield defense. She was hired by Gabe Kapler, the manager, and she usually watches the games down the dugout steps. There's a little indoor batting cage right around the corner from the dugout, and she watches there. And then when she saw the first base coach get ejected, they said, Alyssa, grab a helmet, because coaches have to wear helmets when they're coaching the bases. And she just grabbed an orange helmet and went out to first base, and history was made.
And by the way, I want to add, too, this isn't one of those, all right, we're going to set you up and you come on in. Now you're going to be the first base coach. What happened, the reason why Richardson got tossed, Richardson, who is black, he told reporters his ejection stemmed from an exchange with the Padres' third base coach, whom he accused of yelling an expletive that reeked undertones of racism. And I guess Richardson reacted, and then he got tossed out, and then history was made.
Yeah, he felt his ejection was not warranted, but he did say that he was very, very proud of Alyssa Nakken. So there's that. And one thing that I love about Alyssa Nakken is that she has full-on embraced everything that's happened so far and really made clear that this is something she's extremely proud of and that she sees as building a path for creating an opening for everyone else after her. She says, this is a big deal. I feel a great sense of responsibility. I feel it's my job to honor those who have helped me to where I am. So being a role model for girls and women as part of the San Francisco Giants, she wants to be held up as an example.
And she was one heck of a softball player at Sacramento State. And this came just days after Rachel Balkovec managed the Yankees single-A team down in Tampa to a win. So congratulations, ladies.
Yay.
Doggone tootin'. This has been the Bloomberg Business of Sports podcast. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday talking to you about some of the biggest issues in the world of sports. I'm Michael Barr. You can follow me on Twitter at Big Bar Sports.
I'm Scarlet Fu, and I'm on Twitter at Scarlet Fu.
And I'm Mike Lynch. You can follow me at LynchyWCB.
You're listening to Bloomberg Business of Sports on Bloomberg Radio around the world.